G'day possums, Morten Orstad here with another video. This is me doing a thread for Lloyd at Mr. Hat's music channel. Lloyd had to restart his channel a little while back, and he is now doing a thread to push for getting past 100 subscribers. And of course, you don't need to watch my entire video to do that. You can just head on over. I'll leave a link and all that stuff. And it would be a brilliant thing to do. He's got great videos and impeccable taste in music. And he's residing over there on the west coast, WA in Australia. And why am I wearing nothing Australian? I don't really have anything at the time. At the moment, I have some really old T-shirts, and they're starting to, some of them don't fit anymore, and some of them are a bit worse for wear. I have some Crowded House T-shirts, but Warrington Wolves is a English rugby team, and they have a sort of a few various teams on their rosters, and one of them I think is a team with people with disabilities, where they play for to get money for various good causes and everything. And one of the players on that team, and the reason why I got this Warrington Wolves shirt, is Adam Hills, and Adam Hills is from Australia. I think he's from Loftus in Sydney, and he's a funny bloke, and I watch him quite often on the old YouTube, his show The Last Leg, with a few other English comedians that I like. So Lloyd, what does Lloyd want us to do in this? Well, he wants us to show some Australian music that we have, or Australasian, which means, basically Australian or from New Zealand. And I don't assume a lot of people in the vinyl community have records from New Caledonia or Fiji, but I'll have a go. He wants us to show, and he wants us to tell why we like these. But he also said you could show 3, 5, 10, 20, and up to, I think the last number he said was 60. So I thought, yeah, all right, I'm game. Maybe you think I'm a bit of a galah, but I don't think I will dive into why I like these records, if that's all right with you, Lloyd, because there's going to be quite a few of them, so I'll just try and go through. Of course, this is not all the records I have by Australian artists. These are one record by all the Australian artists that I could remember, and there might be some omissions. There are a few things I don't have, and if you shout out and say, why don't you show that, or don't you have it, instead say, oh, Morten, you don't have a record by the Terrys. Oh, Morten, you don't have any records by Teenage Dads. Oh, that's a shame. I'll send you one, all right? Anyway, guys, better hurry up. This is going to take a while. AC/DC. Why do I show Let There Be Rock? Is it my favorite AC/DC record? No, it's kind of not. It's Power Age for the Scott years, and it's Flick of the Switch for the other years. But this is the last record where there were 2 members of AC/DC who were actually born in Australia. So I thought I'd start with that, because both, of course, Phil Rudd, the drummer, was a member during these days, but this was the last record where the bass player's name was Mark Evans, and Mark Evans and Phil were both born in Australia. None of the other members, as far as I know, have been born there, so there you go. Well, maybe the nephew of Angus, I don't know, but there you go, my AC/DC record for you. Emil and the Sniffers. Good fun. A record I would most likely not have bought if not for, the vinyl community. And I know, this wasn't my first one, but this is their last one so far. This is a vinyl. I bought the CD in 2000 when I was in Australia. I went to Australia because I fell in love with a woman, and she lived in the Blue Mountains in Katoomba or something at the time. But when I finally got to Sydney, Australia, she lived in Sydney, and then 3 days into my 2-month stay, she dumped me. A lot of heartbreak, my last woman ever and everything. Many years later, I got it on vinyl. The Avalanches. This is a beaut. Well, Lloyd showed it, so I think I had to show it as well. The Bee Gees. Loads of blokes born in Britain, Manchester, I think, and then, immigration to Australia, and they became Australians. I reckon Steve Carlson was the first one to show me this record, but most likely influenced by a Mr. Ben Rankins. This is Civic. Great Australian rock there. Either it was Ben Rankins or some bloke, I don't remember the name of, from New Zealand, who showed this. Well, not this particular record, but I went out and tried to find one here in Oslo. And this is what I found. Kiwi band, who I think inspired many artists around the world. Among them, one of my favorites, Pavement. This is The Clean from New Zealand. Dunedin sound and all that stuff, guys. And that's why I'm wearing, a cap by the Dunedin Blue Jays. Single A baseball team who is the minor league team of Toronto Blue Jays. Next up, I love them, and I love the artists who are in this band. So of course I have to show this New Zealand band, Crowded House. And I actually got this year, finally, a repress. This is Ben Rankins doing, I reckon. This is the Crusaders, Fat, Drunk and Stupid. Aussie punky garage rock there for you. Might also be influenced by Mr. Ben Rankins. This is The Church and Starfish. I love their first 3 albums, but I want the Australian. I have the first album, but it's a European press and the cover is different. I want the 3 first Australian albums with their original artwork, but there you are. Lloyd showed this. I only have one record by this artist, and I read up on where he came from and what else he's been, and now it's all gone from my head, of course. But this is Dope Lemon, and I actually got this at a record fair here in Oslo. So very cool vinyl this, actually, by the way. Oh, we don't have time for that. Sorry. Well, there's this family of people called Fun, and when they get out of bed in the morning, they record a lot of music, or they go and sit and come up with good songs while they're enjoying the view from their dick. Sorry, bad New Zealand humour there, but anyway, this is the son of one of those blokes, and that's Lime Finn. I thought I'd show a CD from his first band called Betcha Duper, but I didn't. There you go. Neil Finn, who was in Split Enz and then Crowded House and then the solo artist. He also sometimes collaborated with his brother, even after Split Enz and Crowded House, as the Finn Brothers. And this is their first of their 2 records, Finn. Before joining Dad in Crowded House, Liam Finn, of course, was in The Betcha Duper and solo artist, but he also recorded a record with his dad. So this is Neil and Liam Finn, Light Sleeper. Neil said that he and his wife Sharon were kind of bored. All their sons and all their kids had moved out, so they decided to record an album together and start a group, which only lasted for this album. So this is Sharon and Neil Finn's Pajama Club. And of course, Neil is a solo artist, and even though he still hasn't given us his 2 first solo albums on vinyl, he did record this one in a live YouTube or streaming session. Spent a couple of days working, making the album, writing and everything, and getting all the people together, and then recorded the whole thing out of silence. And this is just wonderful. Big brother Tim left Split Enz for a solo career and has been doing so ever since. And this is where it started. This is Tim Fun, Escapade. Wonderful 80s Finn type music. Probably after both leaving and then getting back and then having to end his band, the Go-Betweens, Robert Forster, of course, has given us various solo albums. I have a couple of them on CD. I finally got one on vinyl this year, and this is Strawberries by Robert Forster. And like I said before that, he was in a band called the Go-Betweens. I don't have a lot by them because it's kind of scarce and hard to get. Got a couple of CDs, and then I got this one in Stockholm this summer. Love the Go-Betweens. Everyone in the vinyl community loved the Go-Betweens. Lloyd showed a record by this band, so I had to as well. So this is the Hoodoo Gurus. And again, it's got Ben Rankins written all over it. A band I knew far, far longer than that, probably about 30 years or so now, is the Hunters, or the Hunters and Collectors, the cousins of Springbok New Girls from South Africa, as I sometimes say. You know, when you got a rock band with a horn section, they don't really, in who are, you know, like krautrock inspired, they don't have a lot of cousins around the world, but they do in South Africa. So this is Human Frailty, wonderful album by the Hunters and Collectors. Of course, one of my absolute favourite bands of all time. Lloyd showed a record by them, so I had to as well. And I thought, if anyone going to show this band in this thread, which I'm pretty sure they will, I wonder if they'll show X by INXS. This is, of course, the follow-up to Kick, so it kind of lingers a bit in the shadow of that one. And I don't feel like it's gotten any, you know, like deluxe editions or, you know, interesting reissues over the years, but there you are. Another artist that I fell in love with when I was dumped in Australia because she listened to him, and who's also, you know, written some beautiful, wonderful songs. And he actually writes songs where a couple of them I tear up when I hear them. Winter Coat is one of them, and it is, of course, Paul Kelly, and this is Paul Kelly and the Coloured Girls. Well, actually it's not, it's Paul Kelly and the Messengers, because this is gossip, but not an Australian pressing, because the rest of the world, you know, was a bit too worried about the name of the band. But there you go. Paul Kelly, wonderful artist. Don't have nearly enough, but I got his latest album, and he's releasing a new album now any day soon, if not he hasn't already, which I think is a 70th birthday celebration of sorts. These kids are, I don't know how old they are, to be honest, but they are the, you know, the sons and nephews of members of a band that, you know, consisted of white fellas and black fellas, you know, Aboriginal people up there from Van Diemen's Land, Northern Territories and all that. You know who I'm talking of, but I'll get to that later. But these are kids, and this is King Stingray. And this was not a Ben Rankins influence, because I don't think he likes them. No, this was actually influenced by Steve Carlson. And I just very recently got their second album, and I have, of course, not listened to it nearly enough. Now, you know, since I couldn't get the beautiful, somewhat short, wonderful, blonde Australian girl of my dreams, I have, of course, been pining for the second best thing for all these years, but, you know, I never seem to meet her anywhere, and that is, of course, Kylie Minogue. This, I think, was my first Kylie Minogue record. Well, not this one, but the CD. This was when she went all indie, and she actually worked with the lads from, you know, I could say New South Wales, but I can now actually say Wales, because she worked with the lads from Manic Street Preachers in part for this wonderful record. It suffered a little bit with its title. This reissue is called Impossible Princess, but I think they briefly just called it Kylie Minogue, and this was, of course, because this record came out in 1997, and we know what happened to a princess in 1997. Another beautiful, amazing artist, wonderful woman that I saw at the Domain, the park behind the Governor's House in Sydney, just before seeing Neil Finn for the first time in the year 2000. Is Leonardo's Bride's, the singer and all that, and yeah, I lost track of what I was going to say there. She actually wrote me an email back then when I was sent a little message, because I was forlorn back in Denmark, having had my heart broken and everything. And then she also answered me when she saw I put up this video and on Instagram. That was really nice. This is Leonardo's Bride, yeah, Angel Blood, with the wonderful, wonderful, super big hit there in Australia, Even When I'm Sleeping. Unfortunately, they only released one more album, which I hope will get a vinyl reissue at some stage. And yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that, because I'm already on 16 minutes, and I'm not even close to finished. Here's Lime Spider. I got this in Stockholm. This is definitely a Ben Rankins influence. Great stuff, this. I didn't pay much for this. 95 Swedish krona, so 100 Norwegian, I guess. And it's only got 6 songs on it, but it was good fun. Traveling across the Tasman Sea, isn't it? Over to Australia, no, to New Zealand again. Got 2 records by her. This is her second one. This is Lord, and her second album. I did like the first one a tad better, but I like the album art better on this, so I thought I'd show. Never got her third one. I know she's got a 4th one out, but I don't know where I am how. Yeah, we'll see. Ben Rankins, of course, his toes will curl, his teeth will grit, but at least I'm not showing their first album. This is Men at Work with Cargo, and my favorite song of theirs of all time is not that song, it's actually on here. It's called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Jive. Of course, we need to hear something heavy metal from Australia. And this is like symphonic, progressive heavy metal by a band I wish I had a lot more. I have actually twice ordered records by them, and they never showed up, and orders been cancelled. This is Ne Oblivis Caris, and this band actually has a violinist. Ben Rankins, once again. I showed this just a few days ago in another video. This is Prehistoric Sound by The Saints. Splendid record. I only have this one. I need more. I know. This band is from Newcastle in New South Wales, where I was and visited when she told me that, you could still stay here for the duration, but do you mind not staying here for a few days? So I travelled up along the coast, and one of the places that I ended up visiting was Newcastle. So this is Frog Stomp by Silverchair. Not bought in Australia. This was bought while I was in Denmark, actually. Yeah. Another Ben Rankins inspiration here. This is Skyhooks, Living in the 70s. I found this record when I was looking for the Saints record. I didn't even know this would exist here in Norway, but there you go. Another Australian. Well, it's got a band title, but it is one bloke. So this is Tame Impala. Definitely, Ben Rankins has influenced most of the vinyl community to get this. This band, of course, is from WA, not far from where I assume Lloyd lives. So this is a Born Sandy devotional by The Triffids, and this is such a great record. I love this record. Right, that was all the vinyl, guys, but I thought I'd show you something else. Now, I haven't shown anything by Neil Finn in a little while, so here's... but this is, showing a collaboration between New Zealand and Australia. This is Neil Finn plus Paul Kelly, Going Your Way. Wonderful stuff. This band, I think Rebecca was the one who told me about them, and I bought records from them in Australia. You'll see that by the sticker. And they're the family, or were at least when she got married to, the that guy from Denmark, Mary, the Queen of Denmark's favorite band. This is Powderfinger. I've got 3 CDs of them. Or what is his name? Bernard Fannings? Something like that. That sounds like something rude, but there you are. He's made some solo albums, and he's got a band now. Released an album last year. Would love that, but it's not readily available here, I'm afraid. So once again, just DM me for my address, and you can send me records. That's fine. This artist is big in the vinyl community. I never really got that much into him, but there's a song. I now have 3 CDs by him, but there's a song on this one, which was my first CD with his stuff on it, because he did a ballad with Kylie Minogue. So this is Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds with Murder Ballads. I do really like this whole album, I do. We travel back to New Zealand for this one. This is the D4 with 620, one of many garage bands that sort of popped up around the year 2000, and they were joined by a fellow New Zealanders who arguably had a bigger success, the Datsuns. And then we travelled back to Australia for a band of sort of the same type of music, even more successful, the Jet. Fortunately, they only gave us 3 albums, I think. And another band who had huge success, and then things started obviously going awry for them, and that was because the singer was diagnosed with what is that again? Asperger's, I think it was. So this is the Vines. Christ, they were good. Well, I thought so back then. I haven't played one of their CDs in probably 10 years or something, but Ben Rankins got me, inspired me to get one of these. This is the Mutton Birds, another New Zealand band. And we got Mark Seymour from Hunters and Collectors. Wonderful artist. Sort of become more of an artist more akin to Paul Kelly in a way, in sort of an everyman type artist. Wonderful stuff. And his brother is Nick Seymour, who's the bass player from Crowded House. This is a band. I first got some maxi singles from Rebecca, I remember, and I got 3 CDs from them. I don't know if they still exist. This is Spider Bait with Grand Slam. I sort of thought of them as a more aggressive Australian counterpoint to British band Space, shifting styles and musical genres all the time. And you remember I talked about King Stingray? Well, this is the band I was referring to. Their dads and their uncles bought this in Australia around the time of the Sydney Olympics, and bought at Hum for $28.95 Australian dollars. This is Yutha Yindi, their final album, unfortunately. And I had a couple of more things. We are almost done, guys. This is Tarmac Adam. I got this because Paul Hester, the drummer from Crowded House, were playing with them. And I forgot I had a CD. There's a Mark Seymour DVD. And I was thinking, Morton, haven't you shown anything by Split Ends? Well, I recently showed some records, so I thought I'd show a DVD instead. So one out of the bag, recorded live at Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne in Australia. This is a great set. And finally thinking, Morton, you galah, you're showing all this Australian stuff and you're not showing a record by the best Australian band of all time. Where's Midnight Oil, mate? Well, I have a couple of Midnight Oil vinyl records, but they're in Denmark. And then I have the debut here, which is Black, basically, except it says Midnight Oil on it. It looks like something, you know, from either AC/DC or Spinal Tap. and I got the CD, so I thought I'll show a DVD. This is mine, all Best of Both Worlds, Saturday Night Live at the Capitol, and Oils on Water. I think one of these is a live thing from Goat Island in Sydney Harbour. Well, tired yet? Well, guys, head on over to Lloyd's channel. Please give him a sub. Call your neighbour or friend, you know, who you know have a YouTube account, and say, hey, head on over to that Mr. Hat's channel and give him a sub for me, will you? All right, thanks, geezer. So cheers, guys. Thanks for watching, etc. And I hope to see you soon in another video. And remember, give Lloyd a sub. Cheers, mates. Bye.